I think you're starting to get the feel for how successful our control demonstration has been here. The next institution in line here, again, a very personal touch. We visited this location on West Mount Street. And this location ends up serving kids every day, 365 days a year. They open their kitchen up. And when I first visited this facility, well kept, and the one thing that we found common between Hollywood Casino and this institution is the amount of pride that is taken by people who volunteer at this institution. With that, I would like to welcome Malcolm and Victoria Daniels from the Salvation Army on the West Mount Street and the board member Christy Prince.
Thank you, Amit. The Salvation Army of Central Ohio and the West Mound Corps in particular have a number of missions. We meet basic human needs, including food, shelter, and disaster relief assistance. We give people the tools they need to combat poverty, including our after-school learning centers for children, our literacy programs, and our career enhancement centers for adults. We help families find and retain stable and decent housing. And we create a sense of community in our neighborhoods by monthly men's breakfasts, family social nights, and other social programs. Our programs are tailored to meet the needs of the community, and we all know that the West Side has a number of needs. Penn National Gaming has demonstrated a commitment to the West Side. For example, the first time I met Amit, it was at the temporary office location, which was a far cry from this beautiful facility. And he introduced me to one of the administrative assistants, whose name is Sarah. Sarah was born and raised on the West Side, and Amit very proudly told me that she was the first of very many team members hired by Penn National Gaming and Hollywood Casino from the West Side. So on behalf of Salvation Army and on behalf of the Central Ohio community, thank you to Hollywood Casino for giving us this assistance. We truly appreciate it.
And a little out of sequence, but we also have $62,000 for you.
Thank you again for your assistance.
This is a machine that keeps going. Next, I have another significant presence in the West Side, but a significant footprint in the Central Ohio community, a legendary organization that has made tremendous impact in our community, coming from all angles of the Central Ohio. And we decided to partner with them as well, because they do have a very firm commitment, not only in the Central Ohio community, but also the West Side. I'd like to welcome Nick Reese from the Buckeye Ranch. And Stephen Smith, the board chair. Same amount, $62,000.
Wow, anybody else amazed by this? Amit, what time do we do this tomorrow? Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. I'm Nick Reese from the Buckeye Ranch. I appreciate the comments about legendary. What makes us legendary is the wonderful people in this community who have supported the Buckeye Ranch for 52 years now. People like Steve Smith, former board member Archie Griffin, which is great to see him this morning. And I'll tell you a quick story. 2 months after Buster won some big fight, people don't know this, but he was at the Buckeye Ranch playing basketball with our kids. So that's the kind of guy Buster Douglas is. And that's this kind of community this is. And I like to say that, this is a giving community, and it's from the leadership all the way down to everybody else in the community, and these gentlemen exemplify that, along with the folks from Penn National and here at the Hollywood Casino. We appreciate the generosity and support. The kind of work that we do doesn't happen without the support of gracious and generous people. For those of you who don't know about the Buckeye Ranch, we provide healing services for children who suffer from emotional, behavioral, and mental health issues. Every day, the Buckeye Ranch provides that care for 1,600 children and their families, effectively touching the lives of thousands of people right here in this community. We restore hope. We restore hope for families who are losing the hope that their children will be successful. And these kind of donations definitely go right to restoring that hope for those families. And we just want to say thank you very much for the folks from Penn National. Welcome to the community. And again, I'm available tomorrow if we're going to be doing this.
Last but not least, we have an organization that supplies food pantries throughout our Central Ohio community, and it seems that this organization not only has grown leaps and bounds and continues to grow in our trying times of the economy and the number of people that they serve in our community. I'd like to welcome Matt Habush from the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. The President and CEO, and Teresa Harris, Board Chair. Teresa, thank you. And we have a check for $165,000.
To all of you, first I offered Teresa to speak. You always offer your board chair that opportunity. It's a good business practice and it keeps me employed. And she deferred. But I've had the privilege of being at the Mid-Ohio Food Bank now. This is my 29th year. And as most of you know, I spent another career at City Hall as an elected official. And one of the real hallmarks of this community is really about a community that embraces social responsibility. And just since I got here, I've had probably a half a dozen conversations with people who said, I've been to the food bank, I volunteered, was talking to Lewis Smoot Sr., and he was talking about how this community is separate from a lot of the other communities that he works in. And talking to Lewis Smoot Jr., and he was talking about how the football team all came out to volunteer. And you continue to see that kind of spirit from everybody in this community. But I can tell you, I have been around a long time, and I've never seen a company come in and make the splash with such grace that Penn National has done. And to Tim and to your team, I've met a lot of people, and when I met Amit, I was absolutely blown away by the sincerity, his genuineness. Here's a guy who's trying to open up a $400 million project, get it done on time, and he spent so much time really getting to understand the needs of this community. And I think that's what defines social responsibility. So you guys did a fabulous job in bringing a great person to this community who's going to continue to embody what this community is all about, and that is making sure people in this community do not go hungry, that they have housing, that they have clothing, that they have a way of coming together and meeting the needs. So Food Bank simply provides 100,000 meals a day to people who are hungry in Central and Eastern Ohio. All of this money is going to go to bring in more food to this community. 100%. We will use none of it for admin. We will use all of it to bring in more food. So thank you, Amit. Thank you, Penn National.
we're very proud to support these organizations who do exemplary work on the West Side and Central Ohio community. And before we begin the ribbon cutting ceremony, I'd like to make a special thank you note for the regulatory agency that has worked very closely with me. From the inception, guiding principles, rules, policies, and procedures, it feels like I grew together with the Ohio Casino Control Commission. To the commissioners who are present here, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for allowing us to be who we are. And Madam Chair, your guidance and your leadership is unparalleled throughout the state of Ohio. Particularly, it has touched me. The more closer we work together, the more I have been inspired as to what we need to do to be a role model in this community. Matt Schuler, you and your staff working day and night, all the way up to last night to get our final approval, could not have committed and more passionate regulators, including your passionate staff that has worked so closely with us in very trying times. You have my word. We will be the role model of regulatory compliance in the state of Ohio. And we will definitely make sure for years to come we continue to operate in a way that is a standard that would not be paralleled by anyone, but we will be setting the standard, but we'll also be making sure that we are the shining star of how we operate casinos in the state of Ohio. And that comes from our commitment from Penn National for both properties in Toledo and also Columbus here as well. Thank you so much for working together. Yeah. I do want to lead by example and show that I am in compliance right now. I do have my badge and it's visible. It is a key license and it is a regulatory requirement, so I want to make sure that I'm not an exception to the rule. Yeah. Thank you. And now for the ribbon cutting ceremony. If you can have everyone come up to the stage. And thank you, everyone, and look forward to working with you and operating this casino. Hope you come back and visit us. Really, really looking forward to make sure that this is truly the pride of the entire Central Ohio community. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd step forward here, there's an X on this side and an X on this side. I'd like you to stand in a straight line between. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to be able to count down to the ribbon cutting of Hollywood Casino Columbus. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Hollywood Casino Columbus is now open.